Rejected Omega, The Cave of 12 Wolves, Part 2. Welcome to the Story King, where every tale rules supreme. Part 2. The Royal Territory and the Jealous Luna That Never Was. The whispers followed Lyra like shadows. Is that her, the Omega the king brought home? Why would he choose someone like her? If humiliation had a face, it would have looked a lot like Lyra right now. Except this time she wasn't alone. Cale's hand was wrapped around hers, firm and protective, his presence a wall between her and every hostile stare. The royal territory wasn't just a fortress, it was a world of its own. Towering walls lined with silver runes, wide courtyards where warriors trained with lethal precision, banners of a silver wolf crowned in black fluttering in the cold wind. But all of that paled in comparison to the woman who stood blocking their path. Selene. Her icy blue eyes flicked over Lyra like she was dirt on an expensive shoe. She wore a royal cloak, her blonde hair braided with silver threads, a symbol of the king's inner circle. Someone Cale clearly trusted, once. "Cale, darling," she said again, voice sweet as poisoned honey. "When you said you were bringing someone back, I assumed you meant a rogue prisoner. Not a charity case." Garrett and River tensed behind Cale. 12 pairs of alpha wolves, now in human form, watched Selene with thinly veiled hostility. Cale's voice turned sharp enough to draw blood. "Show respect. Lyra Ashwood is a member of the royal pack, under my direct protection." Selene tilted her head, lips curving into a dangerous smile. "And what exactly does that protection entail? I wasn't aware you had changed your views on taking a Luna." The compound seemed to hold its breath. Cale stepped forward, placing his body fully between Lyra and Selene, a territorial move that did not go unnoticed. "My decisions no longer concern you, Selene." Her eyes darkened. "I have stood by your side for years. I bled for your throne. If anyone deserves to be Luna, you were never promised that." Cale cut her off coldly. But Selene wasn't done, she never was. Her gaze slid back to Lyra. "You must think you're lucky. An Omega from nowhere, stolen into royalty overnight." She leaned closer, voice low and cruel. "Enjoy it while you can. The king's interest doesn't last." Cale's growl shook the air, an alpha warning. "Enough." Selene merely smiled, and walked away, hips swaying like she owned the ground she walked on. Lyra's heart hammered. She felt like prey trapped in a den of hungry predators. Cale turned to her, his hand resting on the small of her back, grounding her. "Don't let her words get to you. She wants power, not a mate bond." Lyra swallowed. "But she thinks she deserves you." Cale's voice softened. "She thinks wrong." Inside the royal palace, Cale led Lyra up a grand staircase, warriors flanking them like shadows. Every doorway was guarded, every hallway echoed with strength and secrets. They stopped at a bedroom, enormous, luxurious, intimidating. "This will be yours," Cale said. "You'll have guards and a healer assigned to you. Rejection sickness can worsen unexpectedly." Lyra's fingers trembled. "I don't want to be a burden." Cale turned, eyes burning into hers. "You could never be a burden. If anything threatens you, anything, you tell me." Lyra nodded, but the fear in her chest didn't fade. As Cale left, his voice lingered in the room. "Dinner in 2 hours. I want you beside me." It sounded like a request, but Lyra knew better. It was a command. 2 hours later, royal dining hall. Lyra entered with Garrett by her side, guiding her like a brother would. The hall was stunning, chandeliers of crystal wolf fangs, a table long enough to seat a small army. Cale stood when she entered. Not even kings did that. Conversations died. Eyes widened. Selene watched from Cale's right. Too close. Too familiar. Cale extended a hand. "Sit with me." His hand was warm, possessive. Lyra's heart fluttered, traitorously. As she sat, Selene leaned in with mock sweetness. "Lyra, dear, I hope you know what happens to Omegas who reject the king's protection." Lyra froze. I don't. They disappear," Selene purred. "No one ever finds them." Before Lyra could respond, crash. The hall doors burst open. Muddy footprints, labored breathing. A Silvermoon warrior, Marcus's warrior, staggered in and collapsed at Cale's feet. "Your Majesty, Alpha Marcus, he. Cale surged to his feet, fury rolling off him. "What about him?" The warrior coughed blood. He swore a blood oath, to reclaim what he believes is his. He said no one takes what belongs to him. "He's coming." The scent of death rolled through the hall. Lyra's stomach dropped. Marcus wasn't done with her. He was just getting started. The threat begins. Lyra barely slept. Every thunder crack outside the window sounded like boots approaching. Near midnight, she stepped onto the balcony for air, and froze. A shadow stood at the edge of the forest. Tall, broad, radiating violence. "Marcus." His voice carried through the night. "Lyra." A chilling promise. Lyra stumbled back, terror gripping her throat. Hands caught her, powerful, warm. Cale. His scent flooded her senses. "Pine, Storm, Alpha." His voice rumbled against her ear. "You are safe. As long as I breathe, no one touches you." For the first time since the rejection, her wolf stirred inside her, and leaned toward him. But danger was far from over. The Royal Council meeting. The next morning, Cale dragged Marcus's threat into the light. "He intends war," River said grimly. "A blood oath means he won't stop until one of you is dead." Cale's glare hardened. "Then he will be the one to fall." Celine tapped the table with a manicured finger. "There is another complication." The Silvermoon pack filed a petition. Lyra's blood ran cold. "Petition? For what?" Celine's voice sharpened with triumph. "To nullify the right of sanctuary." Gasps, snarls, chairs scraped. Garrett slammed his fist into the table. "They want to drag her back. As packless property." Cale's aura exploded outward. Walls groaned under the power. "They will not touch her. Not while she is mine." The council calmed, but the threat remained. Cale stepped to Lyra, voice low enough only she heard. "I will protect you, but the safest place for you is with me. Always." Before she could react, he added, "You'll stay in my chambers from now on." Her pulse thundered. Was this protection, or possession? Maybe both. War prepared, but betrayal closer. The castle surged with preparations, armory, scouts, layered defenses. Wolves ready to kill. But inside these walls, another enemy lurked. Celine. Later that night, Lyra overheard her in the corridor whispering to a council elder. "She's weak. If she dies in battle, no one will question the king's grief. And when the dust settles, the throne will still need a Luna." Lyra's breath hitched. Celine wanted her gone, permanently. Suddenly, arms wrapped around Lyra's waist from behind. She gasped, but then relaxed. "Pine and Storm." Cale. Eavesdropping. He murmured against her neck. "She wants me dead," Lyra whispered. Cale's jaw slid along her cheek as he whispered. "Then she will die before a single hair on your head is harmed." The violence in his voice should have terrified her. Instead, it warmed her. Training grounds, hidden strength. Lyra refused to be helpless. "If I am to survive this, I must learn to fight," she told. Cale. He stared at her for a long moment, then nodded. Training began, harsh, humiliating, relentless. But Lyra didn't quit. Her wolf, though small, was fast, smart, fierce. River gasped the first time she pinned one of the guards. Garrett grinned proudly. The girl's got teeth. Cale watched from the shadows every day, silent, assessing, hungry. Each night, Lyra collapsed into the bed in Cale's chambers, and each night, his wolf slept outside her door. Guarding, claiming, "You are mine to protect." The truth was starting to feel dangerously real. Marcus arrives, with blood and fire. The attack came sooner than expected. Horns blared, screams echoed through the compound. Cale grabbed Lyra and shoved her behind him, shifting mid-run into a massive black wolf, powerful enough to shake the earth beneath him. His warriors followed, a wall of claws and fur. Lyra's chest burned. The rejection wound pulsed like it was waking up. Marcus's voice thundered from beyond the gates. Give me the Omega, or I'll watch your king bleed. Kale snarled. The wolves at his side bared their teeth, rage ready to explode. But inside the palace, someone else was making their move. Selene. She slipped into Kale's chambers, into Lyra's room. A silver dagger in her hand. A scheming smile on her lips. Lyra barely dodged the first strike. You ruined everything, Selene hissed. He was mine. Selene lunged, faster than any normal wolf. Lyra fought back, every lesson she had learned igniting inside her. Bruised, cornered, outmatched, Lyra's wolf finally snapped awake, and roared inside her. Selene slammed into a wall, shocked. Lyra panted, eyes glowing with new power. Her voice shook, but held steel. I am not yours to destroy. Suddenly, an explosion outside rattled the palace. A howl of agony pierced the night. Kale. Lyra's blood turned to ice. No, she breathed. Her feet moved before her mind did. She sprinted through smoke and ruin until she saw him. Massive wolf collapsed, blood-soaking black fur. Marcus stood over him with a cruel grin. You thought you could take what's mine. Lyra screamed, raw, feral, and threw herself between them. Marcus laughed. Pathetic little Omega. Wrong move. Kale's wolf surged up, teeth snapping around Marcus's throat, dragging him to the ground with a roar like thunder. Marcus's warriors broke and fled. Kale stood over his fallen enemy, victorious. But then, his wolf staggered, collapsed. Lyra dropped beside him, tears spilling. Kale, stay with me. He shifted back, bleeding, barely conscious, and cupped her face with a trembling hand. Lyra, my wolf. He swallowed hard. He chose you, and so do I. Her heart shattered and remade itself in one breath. But Kale's eyes fluttered, and fear seized her. Kale, Kael. He wasn't responding. His wolf had given everything, to protect her. And Lyra realized something horrifying. The moment he invoked sanctuary, Kale's life became tied to hers. If she died, he would too. If she lived, he must survive. Her safety was now his fate. And Marcus's dying whisper echoed in her mind. This isn't over. To be continued.